Were Arsenal robbed at the start of the season after Declan Rice's red card against Brighton? Or what about the criminal decision in favour of Germany at the Euros when they were arguably denied a clear penalty against Spain? Yes, we've seen plenty of bad refereeing since the introduction of VAR, but today we're going to take a look at the absolute worst. Stay with us till the end. Yes, as we said, this really is one of the worst decisions in recent times, but we're putting it in at number 10 because it does have an explanation. The situation was as follows. Declan Rice fouled Joel Veltman on the touchline and, in show of emotion, pushed the ball slightly sideways, which did nothing to slow down the opposition player's kick. I think we can agree that, firstly, Veltman was intent on provoking Rice by trying to pass the ball when the Englishman was literally a metre away, and secondly, Rice pushing the ball away can't even be considered as slowing down the game. Within seconds of the incident, everyone thought the referee was going to show Veltman a straight red card, but when he showed Rice a second yellow, everybody was completely stunned. The Champions League semi-final between Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, an offside call sparked the question, what's the point of VAR if the rules aren't logical enough? Let's recall what happened. Late in the game, with Madrid leading 2-1, Joshua Kimmich sent a long ball into the box with Bayern's Noussair Mazraoui and Matthias de Ligt close to the area. Madrid's Ferland Mendy cleared the ball, but it fell to the feet of Thomas Müller, who squared for de Ligt to volley into the net. However, the referee had already stopped play when the linesman raised his flag for offside just 3 seconds after Müller's pass. Replays later showed that only de Ligt was offside in Kimmich's pass, but here's the little secret. He wasn't even involved in the play before Mendy's clearance, so the goal was perfectly legitimate. And you know what the problem is? Well, according to the rules, the VAR can't intervene in situations where the decision has already been made by the referees on the pitch. Afterwards, de Ligt himself admitted that the linesman had apologised for the mistake, adding further controversy to the situation. Bayern fans may feel justified in their frustration, even though Real were the better team overall. We're talking about the Merseyside derby of 2020, Everton versus Liverpool, Goodison Park. Liverpool came into the game on the back of a 7-2 humiliation at the hands of Aston Villa and were determined to make amends. However, things went from bad to worse on this day. Early in the game, Virgil van Dijk was flagged for offside after receiving a pass from Thiago, but the officials delayed the decision long enough for the Everton goalkeeper Jordan Pickford to make a reckless knee tackle on him. The result? Van Dijk suffered a devastating ACL tear, but shockingly, Pickford escaped any punishment. Not a red card, not even a penalty. Why? Because the VAR had already ruled Van Dijk offside, so the foul was deemed irrelevant to the review. 4 years on, this still remains one of the biggest issues with VAR. The 2022 World Cup, Japan and Spain were drawn, with Spain needing only a draw in their last group match to progress to the round of 16. Early in the second half, Japan scored a controversial goal. The ball appeared to have gone out of play before Kaoru Mitoma crossed it for Ao Tanaka to score. However, no camera in the stadium was positioned directly over the line to clearly show whether the ball had fully crossed the line. Despite this uncertainty, the referee awarded the goal, even though it didn't look that way from the available angles. Unfortunately for Germany, who were eliminated on that score, the decision stood and the damage was done. You saw that coming, didn't you? The most controversial situation of the whole Euro 2024. Spain and Germany were involved in a dramatic quarter-final clash. At the start of the second half of extra time, with the scores level at 1-1, Jamal Musiala was perfectly placed on the edge of the penalty area and unleashed a shot that went straight into the arm of Cucurella. The German fans thought this was their chance to stage a comeback, but no penalty was given, and soon after, Mikel Merino scored the winner to send Spain dramatically into the semis. The big question was, how was it not a penalty? Some thought the cross to Niklas Füllkrug seconds before had been offside, but there was no evidence to support this, and even the semi-automatic technology didn't indicate it. Hours later, the explanation came. Under the new handball rules, Cucurella's arm position was deemed legal, and to put it simply, what got Spain off the hook was that Cucurella kept his arm behind his back, even though it wasn't fully pressed against his body. By the end of the 2023-24 season, Real Madrid had undoubtedly become the strongest team in Europe, winning the Champions League and La Liga. However, as we have seen with Bayern Munich in Europe, there have also been certain matches in Spain where Madrid have been pushed to success, and one of them was against Almeria. At the Santiago Bernabeu, Almeria led 2-0 at half-time, but Madrid were awarded a penalty in the 56th minute for a handball, which Bellingham converted. Everything was in order and the decision was correct, but then the chaos began. Almeria scored 10 minutes later to make it 3-1, but the goal was disallowed because of a very soft, unintentional, and even unnoticeable contact with Bellingham's face. This prompted the official to overturn the goal. The most shocking moment came, however, when Vinicius' blatant handball for Madrid's equaliser was allowed to stand. The goal then proved decisive in Madrid's eventual 3-2 comeback. In October 2022, during Barcelona's crucial Champions League group stage match against Inter Milan, another highly controversial VAR decision was made. Late in the game, with Barcelona pushing for an equaliser to stay alive in the competition, Denzel Dumfries clearly handled the ball inside the box while defending a cross. Despite the obvious nature of the handball, VAR shockingly failed to intervene and no penalty was awarded. The controversy sparked outrage as replays showed the ball had struck Dumfries' arm. The missed call had devastating consequences for Barcelona. Instead of being awarded a penalty that would have earned them a draw, the match ended in defeat, allowing Inter Milan to finish second in the group. Barcelona's early exit from the Champions League was sealed, while Inter's path to the final was relatively untroubled, eventually reaching the final against Manchester City in Istanbul. Now, hear me out. If there was any debate about the previous cases, the last three are certainly the worst ever, or at least the ones we thought of. Man City and Liverpool have been involved in some fierce Premier League title races, but the one in 2022 was arguably decided by this call on Rodri's clear handball against Everton. The citizens were away at Goodison Park and struggling to find the net, although they did get on the score sheet in the 82nd minute after Foden's near-post finish. But then Rodri deliberately played with his hand in the box, literally controlling the ball with his arm. It was a surprising move from one of the most experienced players in the Man City squad, because there wasn't anything dangerous in the box. The Spaniard did it anyway, and a penalty was 100% the right decision, but it wasn't given, even though it was reviewed by the VAR officials. In a Premier League match between Aston Villa and Sheffield United in June 2020, the away side had a clear goal when Villa goalkeeper Oyen Nyland carried the ball over the line. However, the goal line technology didn't register it and VAR didn't intervene, so the game remained 0-0. It was a crucial error that earned Villa a point and ultimately helped them avoid relegation that season. But there is something more interesting. Eventually, Aston Villa managed to become one of the best teams in England and are currently in the Champions League after finishing fourth in the Prem last season. Now imagine what would have happened if that mistake had not been made and Villa got relegated. And here we have undoubtedly the most controversial VAR moment since its inception in 2018. Tottenham and Liverpool played against each other in 2023, and with the score 0-0 in the first half, Luis Diaz scored a goal, but the assistant referee mistakenly flagged for offside. While VAR checked the decision, a mix-up occurred. The officials wrongly assumed that the on-field call had been confirmed, so they did not overturn it. As a result, Diaz's goal was disallowed, leaving Liverpool furious. In the end, the reason for this hilarious egregious mistake was a miscommunication between the officials, which is just unacceptable in the modern era of refereeing. So, what do you think? What other terrible VAR mistakes can you think of? Give us a clue in the comments section down below. And also, if you've reached the end, you can hit that like and subscription button for more similar content. Until next time.